man they had once arrested without tanks or the army. They could have done likewise, then why did the Indian government send in the army to arrest one man, akin to the Italian government sending the army into Vatican City?
Khalsa Ji, you've heard from Sukhbir why 84 took place. We are going to briefly look at the carnage that took place after that, in November, the 1st of November. Also the same year, 84. This number 84, when you hear it sometimes, get a bit of a thrill going down your back. It's one of those numbers, when we think about it, we think about the innocents that were butchered by the Indian authorities, by the so-called our own homeland. I'm only going to raise 2 points. In 7 minutes, you can't really do justice to the whole of the 1984 episode. For us, it's a mark in history that we can never really put to bed. The first thing I want to highlight is Bhai Beyant Singh. Bhai Beyant Singh witnessed the destruction caused by the Indian armed forces. What he witnessed moved him. He was a liberal Sikh before then. But after seeing the destruction, he thought, you know what? A liberal Sikh has no place in India. You have to be a Sikh of the Guru. And that is when he took in his mind that I'm going to take justice for the crimes committed against my people. Bhai Beyant Singh, in connection with Bhai Satwant Singh, both bodyguards of Indira Gandhi, made a pact that we are going to take this sever of the Panth and punish the guilty, which they did. Even now before your eyes, how many guilty people have been punished by the Indian regime, who have been seen red-handed committing murders? None. Amara says, Chukar aaj ma heelte darbudasht, halal astan, ba shamshir dast. And when the means of justice, peaceful means are found, that is when the Khalsa raises the sword, not before. Bhai Beyant Singh, Satwant Singh, with the connection of Bhai Kher Singh, assassinated Indira Gandhi on the 1st of June, 1st of November. What comes after that was unexpected for the Sikhs all over India.
No, not yet.
Not only Sikhs were targeted for the fact that they were Sikhs, but this gave them an example to assassinate them absolutely all over India. 130 cities, including Delhi, were attacked where Sikhs got butchered. I'm going to highlight one case of those thousands that were murdered mercilessly by the Indian mobs. This Panji's name is Bibi Sukhwinder Kaur. She now lives in the widow's colony If any of you seen it, go on the website, on YouTube and see it. She says, my father was first. Sorry. She said, my father came home from his work. He said there was a mob up in Delhi assassinating, killing Sikhs. Nobody expected the mob to turn up to their area. They just thought it was a confined thing in Delhi. But he was wrong. Hours later, the local Gurdwara was in flames. The local Sangat of our area in Trilokpuri thought, let's go and protect our Gurdwara. As we made way to our Gurdwara, the police stopped us and they said, go back home. So we did. This was our mistake. We were sitting ducks, waiting for the mobs to come to our homes. Soon, the wooden door of our home was broken down. My father was first. They took him out of the house, started beating him with an iron rod. They then blindfolded him with his own turban, poured kerosene over his face and body and lit the match. My father was screaming in agony and rolling around in the dust. They then came for my brother, who was 14 years old. My mother begged them to release him, not to harm him. They dragged my mother and my brother both out onto the street. My brother's face, the same ordeal as my father, with a burning tire around his neck. My mother tried to intervene again. 5 men took my mother to one side of the house and gang raped her until she was unconscious. My mother-in-law saw this. She went to the aid of my mother. The mob didn't even have any mercy on her and broke my grandmother's arm and knee. They said to us, leave now or we will now kill the children. When they were burning my father, they said, tumne hamari maa ko mara hai, hum tumko marenge. You killed our mother, we're gonna kill you. They were putting tires around necks of Sikhs and torturing them before the slaughter. They were saying, Dekho, Sardar kaise naach raha hai. Look how the Sikh Sardars are dancing with a burning tire around their neck. We hid in the wilderness for 3 nights and 2 days until the military came in and we felt safe. That's all I'll say about this case. But this was faced by Sikhs all over Delhi, all over India. Have no qualms about that in your mind. The last thing I'm going to do is going to compare the death of Mahatma Gandhi. As we all know, Mahatma Gandhi was the father of the Indian nation. He was the pillar, apparently. We give 90% of death for the independence of India, and Mahatma Gandhi gets the award of father of the nation. Mahatma Gandhi was murdered on January the 30th of January 1948. He was killed by a Hindu Brahmin, Nathuram Godse. When Nathuram Godse assassinated Mahatma Gandhi, there was no riots. There was no massacre, murders of any Hindu Brahmins. Why? Because Nathuram was a Hindu himself. This simple fact highlights 2 things. One, they do not respect us as equal people as themselves. That's the first. Otherwise, we would have not faced the same backlash when Indira Gandhi died. But we did. And secondly, they would never ever allow us to wear our dastara, to live our views and our values the way we want to live them. The simple fact proves Sikhs are not on the same path as the Hindus.